Let's say that I am going to propose a girl. I am not at all creative at all. I'll ask ChatGPT. My girlfriend is this. Make a poem. Okay, it will make a poem. But will that poem have any emotions? No. Let me tell you why.
And how do AI chatbots handle complex customer to inquire about financial services?
See, this will be a challenge right now because we haven't reached AGI right now. I would say if you are a data scientist, try going in fintech
Okay.
because in long run, going abroad, your probability will also increase.
Like how it got emerged, both finance and data science, how it got merged together.
Personally, I feel like it's like next to impossible to separate them.
What are all the challenges you face in terms of colliding it with data science and AI?
One major challenge that I personally feel is like the problem with finances, the data is very sensitive, very much protected.
Hello all, I'm Madhu. Welcome back to the podcast. So as usual, we're going to talk about AI and data sciences, but today we're going to elaborate it into the finance, and we have an expertise with us, Mr. Ayush. So hi Ayush.
Hi.
So just let me know that what is the relationship between you and Dinesh Academy?
So I'm a volunteer facilitator for the students here.
Okay.
Yep, and I'll be talking more about what is the real world experience of AI and machine learning and how is it related to finance.
So tell us, Ayush, what did you do in your college and what made you come here, still here?
Okay, so I did my BTech from Odisha, and
Okay.
so in the initial days, no, I was very passionate. I'll try. See, IT is a broad domain. There's
Okay.
so many small things there. Like there is full stack development, there is machine learning and AI, there is web development, cloud security, so many different things.
Okay.
So I was a very eager kid ever since
Hmm.
the beginning. So I wanted to explore each and everything, and I made games, I did coding, I went to all Code Chef, HackerRank, and all. I tried coding there. It didn't work out for me. Even the games didn't work out for me. I then went to a workshop in IIT Kharagpur, and it was a workshop on AI. So before going to the workshop, I have this habit of I prepare beforehand. So I did a course on machine learning using Python. So I learned Python through few of the sites, YouTube and everywhere. And then I went through what all machine learning models are there, how we pre-process the data and everything. So when I went to the workshop, I really loved it. Then I thought in my second year that I'm going to stick with it.
Okay.
So I was very passionate about it. Back
Mhm.
then, I thought I'll become a data scientist or something because they were the very flagship roles available in the market back then. I'm talking about around 2020, 2018 and all.
Okay.
So then later on, I did couple of internships as well. I'll say that working on internships is very important.
Mm-hmm.
You think you like that, but do you know, are you good at it? Do you know what exactly you are going to do in it?
Yeah.
Because many times when we are working, we are studying, we think that okay, we are given a set of data set and we are clearing it and we are making the predictions. Data in real life is not like that. Data is very messed up. You will not even understand the data initially when you are doing machine learning
Okay.
algorithms and when you are pre-processing. So these are very important things that you get really hands on, get your hands dirty, get into the mud, and then explore. See, if you are making the website, it worked out, you are enjoying. Many times there are people who told me that okay, the problem with web development is that you have to change and you have to see if it is reflecting or not, it gets
Okay.
boring, etc., etc. Some people find it really fun. I know many people in the industry who are working like who love making websites
Mm-hmm.
and Android apps. So it
Like
depends.
mismatched. Okay. So, can you explain us what finance play a role in data science and AI?
So finance has many domains and we have predictive models. Let me talk about investment first. When we talk about investment, we have portfolios where we need to make predictions on how the stocks are going to perform. Depending upon that, we are going to decide which models we have to put it into, which stocks we have to put it into, and what weight should we assign to them. Another thing that I would like to raise here is like when we are dealing with customers, same thing happens. Customers are like, you need to understand them, you need to gather their data, and you need to predict how they are going to perform in the future.
Hmm.
So all these places, finance is involved, and finance is involved with IT, with data
Okay.
science specifically.
Okay. But as a person who's working in finance sector, what are all the challenges you face in terms of colliding it with data science and AI?
One major challenge that I personally feel is like the problem with finances, the data is very sensitive, very much protected. So they are not very comfortable with sharing their data with with the big companies who are handling the AI of this world right now. They'll prefer making their own AIs.
Uh-huh.
So it is a long process. Not all companies can make this, and they are taking their own sweet time making it. So if you think that right now all the big banks are having AI, you're wrong. It will take years, 5 to 10 years to adapt to that level where Amazon, Google, and all these IT companies are right now.
Okay.
The higher authorities might be using it, but
Hmm.
at the ground level, if you reach out to a CA, a charter accountant who is working, will you if you ask him, are you using any AI tools?
Hmm.
I am pretty sure he will say no.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So, the financial institutions, do they find it difficult, as you mentioned now, do they find it difficult to hire a person who has talent in data science?
No, they want it. They're looking
Okay.
for people like that.
No, are they in shortage of people like that? People who are well versed in data science.
There is no shortage, I would say.
Hmm.
The problem is that there are very few people in India who know both finance and data science.
Huh.
Like I was saying initially, that the problem is that you have a data, but do you understand the data? Financial data is very complicated. You need to understand the data in order to make the right decisions for pre-processing and predictive modeling.
Okay.
That is what the major challenge is that people face here.
So, if a person wants to develop a skill in financial data science, what are all the skills they should have? The skill set for the finance data science people.
See, they should have a basic understanding of finance, the financial statements, the terminologies, and all these things, and they should understand data science as a whole. They
Okay.
should understand how to deal with data, how to pre-process the data, how different machine learning algorithms are there, which is the right algorithm to put in when, and they should also understand the implication of these things.
Okay.
When they are saying that a particular stock will grow at a 20% rate, let's say in 2 years, so they should understand that people are investing that money in it. They should have that empathy in their mind that, okay, this is what the customer is expecting, and because the implications of it will be heavy.
Okay.
So,
And so when you're saying this, I have a doubt. So data science is there in everything, as you said.
hmm,
When I was doing my development studies, there was a separate subject for data science
hmm,
for for the purpose of research.
yeah.
Like for research, we need data science
Hmm.
to be read, no? So what is the difference between that data science and the finance data science?
I don't think so. There's much difference between them.
Okay.
Data science is like you have huge amount of data, something gigabytes of data. You work on it. You play with the data. You understand what all patterns you can get from the data.
Mm-hmm.
You make charts. You make predictions.
Mm-hmm.
That is all. It is all about mostly.
Okay.
And then what's the maximum out of that you can extract and make the right decision? It's see, whenever we are making a decision, take, like it is said, right, taking an aware decision is the right thing to do.
Mm.
So awareness, how will you get that? If you're releasing a product in the market, you need to get market research. Why is it so important? You need to understand what's there, what's the
What's
data for
happening?
it, what's happening. Yeah, exactly.
So, what is the programming language we use for data science? The major one.
Python and R are the core languages used. Mostly Python is used because it is more easier to learn, easier to adapt, and also it has so many libraries. Even the syntax is a little simpler. That is what I feel personally. So
Okay.
both are used.
So, when you're talking, I'm curious to know the answer for this. Like, how it got emerged, both finance and data science, how it got merged together.
Personally, I feel like it's like next to impossible to separate them.
Okay.
Because what is finance? Finance is basically all the transactions that are happening, and it's all data.
Huh.
Wherever data comes in, data science plays a role. So it's like before, let's say that all these calculations were done on Excel or were done manually. Now we are using Python to do that. It's as simple as that. It's not a very complex merge that happened.
Hmm.
Also, we came up with some companies who are like working on both of them. uh, they are coming up with a combination of like, let's say, fintech companies.
Mm-hmm.
So they are investing, UPI, right?
Yeah.
So UPI is what? It's a fintech application.
Mm.
So it's an interface that lets you make the payment,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So how is it making the payment? Through your phones.
Mm.
It is an IoT tool, right?
Yes.
And you're making the transactions
Mm.
which you used to do earlier through your credit card or debit
Yeah.
card. Before that, you used to go to the banks.
Yeah.
So that is how the things are changing. That is
Mm.
how IT is coming slowly, slowly. Before, you
Mm.
used to go to the banks to withdraw the money,
Mm.
right? Then you had websites, you have portals, you have your app. Okay,
Mm.
IT came in.
Mm.
After that, once that was there, then you have now you have your own apps. You have
Mm.
recently many banks, many other companies have come up. I won't name them, but they have
Mm.
come up who have e-wallets,
Mm.
who are making UPI payments. Now I've heard like many other countries abroad are also accepting UPI.
Mm.
Actually, UPI has earned huge reputation. Means has increased the value and image of India
Mm.
in the world. That
Oh,
is what I feel.
does the fintech be a profitable market for people who do data science?
Yeah, I will definitely agree with that because when we are talking about fintech, it's an emerging market. People are investing in it like crazy. People are even if you see the stock of these companies,
Mm-hmm.
recently few companies faced a hit because of, I would say, it was more of a law sort of a thing. Let's not go into it.
Mm.
But these domains are expanding like crazy. I would say if you are a data scientist,
Mm.
try going in fintech
Okay.
because in long run, going abroad, your probability will also increase.
Mm.
Your package will also hike at a faster rate. That is what I feel. Like AI
Okay.
and fintech, these are like emerging like crazy.
Okay. So, why is Python preferred over R in a financial data science?
See, like I was saying, Python is very close to the normal language. It is easier to learn.
Mm.
So there are many people who were not coders, who were finance people, but
Okay.
they learned Python just to do the data science activities.
Okay.
So yeah, initially they were the ones who were working here. So
Mm.
that is one reason. Another reason I would say is that because Python is a very adaptive language. It is a very comfortable language,
Mm.
and so many libraries are already made in it.
Mm.
So much research has already been done in it that it
Okay.
is very easy to use the prepared materials and make something new,
Okay.
move ahead.
Mm.
So lot of study material, lot of things are already available.
Okay.
Now even R is there. R is also widely used,
Mm.
but Python is more comfortable.
Okay. Now moving on to AI. So, how is AI transforming the finance industry?
I would say right now AI is not, but in long run it will.
Okay.
Because let's say that first of all, automation is going like crazy in finance industries.
Mm.
Like all the banks, they have so many repetitive activities that they have been performing,
Mm-hmm.
and they're focusing, even the higher management, they're
Mm.
focusing so much that okay, we need to invest on automations because we don't need our people to do the manual work. We are paying them heavy salaries.
Mm.
We want them the maximum that I can gain from them, maximum output we want. If a certain thing can be automated
Mm.
without our people investing time in that and effort in that. Also, see, finance is a very critical domain.
Mm.
So they want that we shouldn't have any blunders. If
Okay.
you have blunders, it can cost us CRs, right? I don't even know how many CRs. So they cannot afford any mistakes. Automation leads to efficiency.
Mm.
But then again, automation, AI are little different.
Mm.
Automation is like you tell this you do and it does it. AI is like it learns. Okay, it's
Mm.
artificial intelligence. So let's say that in stock market predictions, you can predict what all stocks will be performing in the future, which will
Okay.
be the emerging market, and
Okay.
actually that's been done, but not to that extent. Imagine like you predicting a breakthrough, you predicting a recession, you predicting a collapse of an economy or something like that.
Is it possible?
I think it is because it depends on the data. See, everything depends on the data. There is a trend, there is a pattern of everything. So if you can find that pattern, then you're good to go.
Okay. So, how is AI improving the customers to, get into financial industry a lot? How it's making the process easier? AI.
So the good thing about AI is, like I said, all the task which, like, let's say when you have any, you want any advice.
Hmm.
Okay, you're a new investor, you need advice. You reach out to a bank, you need advice.
Hmm.
Okay, you want a loan, you need advice.
Hmm.
Initial advices can be taken care by chatbots. They can be
Okay.
taken care by personal assistant.
Like customized marketing.
Customized marketing is also possible. But I am saying like the desk jobs in all the
Oh.
banks, that
Oh.
can be taken care by the AIs, right?
Okay.
When you, most of the time when you reach out to Swiggy customer service, you really think that's a person talking to you. It's a chatbot.
But when it says this is the person, this that, it's not the person.
Then that's a person.
Okay.
But the initial conversations, if you have
Yeah,
even
yeah,
with
yeah.
Flipkart,
Automated.
it's
Mm.
automated. But imagine that person is also not there.
Okay.
Some chatbot is talking to you with experience.
Mm-mm-mm.
So that will be so much fun.
Definitely. And how do AI chatbots handle complex customer to inquire about financial services?
See, this will be a challenge right now because we haven't reached AGI right now.
Mm.
Because AGI is more capable of handling. AGI is artificial generative intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So it is where it is the AI that people fear more.
Mm.
Okay, generative AI is, you will say that I am a let's say I work at a bank.
Mm.
Okay, and I do XYZ task.
Mm.
Okay, all my task can be done by AGI,
Mm-hmm.
but a generative AI can just support me.
Okay.
It can do, let's say, 20%, 30% of my task, and then I can focus on something else, which is
Okay.
more important to the company.
Mm.
But an AGI can literally replace me. But again, we will need some monitoring to it. We will need some decision makings for that. But it's like it can do 80, 90% of my work. So
Okay.
that's the thing.
But as you mentioned earlier, will there be risks in this?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because,
Have you faced any? Have you seen any? Experienced any?
no, because AGI is not here yet.
Not in AGI.
Hmm.
Generally, you've told me if you cause any blender, it'll, pay you a lot.
Huh.
So, any risks you have seen like that in finance?
I've heard stories from different companies. Like, first of all, you are not supposed to share the data.
Okay.
Even if by mistake you share that data, there will be heavy consequences on that. It's just not even limited to finance companies,
Mm.
irrespective of any company you work for. If you leak their data, that's a huge blunder.
Okay.
And so security is very important.
So you told that earlier you mentioned that in for some roles, if AI is there, even it can replace a human. So is it the future?
See, whenever calculators came in the market, initially mathematicians thought that they will lose their jobs
Mm-hmm.
because all the complex calculations that were being done by the mathematicians, uh, this calculator can do like this.
Mm.
So what now is like they can reach greater heights.
Mm.
They were able to focus on more complex things. They were able to work on things like calculus and all differentiative and all that vagera vagera
Mm.
complicated stuff. So similarly, it will happen here. Right now, we are focusing on, let's say I am making an application and I have been given 3 months to do it,
Mm-hmm.
right? With AI, when I know AI is gonna use some AI tool, let's say Git Copilot it is using,
Mm.
which is mostly used for development. So then that won't be an issue. He will ask you, okay, make it in 1 month
Mm.
because you are using the AI and you can easily make it. So that will be the impact. Okay,
Okay.
3 months to 1 month, maybe even 15 days. Who knows?
Mm.
I'm not very well aware with it, but maybe they can make it.
Okay.
And this will save time. This will save money, and this will also say increase the efficiency and the end product. Another important thing we need to understand is Even when we have AGI, before I was saying that anyway generative AI is just an assistant. It will help you. And if you know how to use generative AI, it will even give you higher boost. It will even give you higher packages. And even when AGI comes up, it might have consciousness, but it will never have emotions, because
Okay.
you will have a vision. Okay, this is what I want from my customers. When you are making Swiggy, this is the main issue that I want to address to. This only a human can understand this. And getting into the shoes of the customers, this is something that only a human can understand. So never it is going to happen that an AI is going to take your job.
Okay.
But you will have to keep yourself updated. Keep learning, do courses, do internships, explore as much as you can. Read articles. Articles are really good for learning, because when you have new things coming every day, you cannot, go through the whole paras of books. Reading an article is good enough sometimes when you are already in the industry and you're working hard.
Okay.
So,
And since you're repeatedly telling that internships make wonders in academics or in your future, what did you do in your internships and what made you change the thought?
actually, during my bachelor's,
Hmm.
every year I did internship.
Oh.
My half resume is filled with internships.
Okay.
I won't name them again. I have worked with big firms. I have worked with startups. I have worked with unicorns. I have worked with international banks. I have worked with some educational sites, because I was very curious. I wanted to go and see. Everybody is telling me, my father's friends are telling me that, whatever you are learning, you are not going to use it. My cousins are telling me, uncles and all, everyone is telling me, whatever you are learning, it's not going to be implemented. It's like, why am I learning them? But it sets a core. Whenever you are doing a course, whenever you are learning something, it will set your core. They will teach you how to speak, what English is, what ABC is. Writing poems, you'll get by experience. It's something like that.
Nice. Well said. And how do chatbots handle false positives in identification verification?
Actually, this is a very complicated answer, because this was a challenge initially. Like when I was doing an internship, I was working on a chatbot, and understanding false positives was a problem, because let's say I said, uh, I am not 18.
Okay.
Oh, how NLP works, natural language processing, it chops off the sentence into small parts, and it will understand whenever these words are used, what is the meaning behind it. Whenever these words are used together, what is the meaning behind it. So whenever a word like this is used, not beautiful, not good, not 18, okay, then it will become difficult, because not means a negative sentence, right? This is what it used to understand. Then what they did, they started picking words like two words together,
Okay.
three words together. Okay. Then that way this got improved.
Okay.
Also with AI, with deep learning and all, it gets even smarter.
Okay.
Yeah. It's more complicated, but it gets even smarter.
So, how did your college days, academics, you've told, no? How did it help and how did you fall in love with finance?
Well, finance is like, I would say, if IT is my girlfriend, finance is like my wife. I got married to it, that too arranged marriage. So when I was in finance, I was like, okay, now I am married, I will have to fall in love with that person.
Okay.
I cannot run away. So it's
Okay.
something like that. I was in
Okay.
finance. I was running from it like crazy, but I was with it, and then I kept on studying, understanding. Okay, these are financial statements. These are financial ratios. I'm very greedy when it comes to money. So I was like, I need to make more money. I understood what all tax systems are there so that I can save tax. I realized that's not possible. Then I was like, okay, it's better to learn investment. So I started learning investment, how stock market works, how different financial predictions work. So that is how I proceeded. That is how I was like, okay, this is making me money. That's all I want. And I just I'm with finance now.
Okay. What will you say to juniors who are upcoming, who are doing their college right now? If they want to come into finance uh, and data science together with AI, what would you suggest them? What would you tell them to do? Because when you were in college, you'd have thought, no, okay, somebody can be a mentor to me like that. So, what would you recommend them to do right now in college?
Okay, so the people who are in college, I will recommend that you need to work and do proper thorough research. Like, let's say that you want to become a data scientist in financial companies. Go reach out to people on LinkedIn who are in that role, talk with them. What should I do? What should I learn? Let's say if you reach out to me, I'll say you should know Python, you should know Excel, you should know Tableau, Power BI, right? Go through all these basic things. If you have more time, work on how risk works with IT and predictive modeling works. So this is how I will teach them. But different people in finance and IT as well will have different experiences. Reach out to your dream person, ping him on LinkedIn, no issues. Most people on LinkedIn are free, they actually reply to you. And if they don't reply to someone else, message to someone else, it's okay. Message 50 people, 5 people will reply to you, and that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you get your answers. That's the most important thing.
Okay. And do you think for a person who's coming from school straight to college or from college to the work, how much it helps them if they do AI or data science, whatever field in they are, not only in finance, whatever the field it is, how do you think AI will help them? Do you think AI is must to learn for them to come reach out and get more exposure?
So during the COVID time, we have seen that how people were copying from ChatGPT and giving their papers, right? And the impact of
Not
it.
me. Okay.
Unfortunately, I passed out by then.
Okay.
So, uh, so the impact of it was really bad because they were not learning.
Yes.
When if he, let's say that I want to learn about something. Let's say I want to learn C.
Mm.
Okay, my professor has given me 5 codes to write. Very basic code, make a triangle by stars. Professors love that, especially in first year. If you Google it and do it, if you do chat GPT and do it, are you learning anything? You're not. And if you think that all the complex codes that are used by big firms in the real world examples, ChatGPT is gonna write it for you. No, even if it writes it for you, you will have to customize it. How will you customize it if you cannot even read it? You need to understand the code. So for learning, I would say learn it properly. Don't use shortcuts in learning. But in when you're working for efficiency, seek out. And in India, I think we all know that most of the projects are made by parents or elder brother sister. So there, instead of bothering them, use AI. If anyway you're gonna cheat, don't bother them. Use AI. Get good marks.
Okay. And even in the field like literature, people now using Quillbot, like
Hmm.
AIs like that, helps in languages even,
Hmm.
you know. And in finance, what are all the AI in websites or links you use?
Okay, I'll first answer the first part of your question.
Mm.
Let's say that I am going to propose a girl. I am not at all creative at all. I'll ask ChatGPT. My girlfriend is this, 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 this. Make a poem. Okay, it will make a poem. But will that poem have any emotions? No. Let me tell you why. How generative AI works. It will refer to all the poems that it can find, pick words which are aligning with each other, combine and make something.
Shakespeare, Dostoevsky, everybody.
So it will look good. It might not make sense on an emotional level.
Okay.
Because in poems you have metaphors, personifications.
Yeah.
Do you really think a model who doesn't have consciousness or emotions can understand that? So that problem comes up. And personally, for finance, I don't I refer books.
Okay.
They are better, or I refer some YouTube channels because generally, I feel that it's faster when I view a content, I make notes. That's faster. I don't stick to websites or anything, any particular website that I reach out to. It's like find a question, and also AI is really good. Just chat GPT. Now you have on WhatsApp as well. No? Just on WhatsApp ask, okay, this is where I'm stuck, and it will give you an answer.
And many people are weak at math. Okay.
Hmm.
So is it really important to know math or to be an excellent math to learn AI?
So when it comes to AI, there are different types of job that are available in the market.
Mm-hmm.
One is when you are literally making the generative AI.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say some XYZ company hires you, and there you are doing the real coding. Of course, mathematics will be required in that, because how coding works is it works around logic, right? And logic is basically maths only. Okay. What we did with machine learning and with all these things, we turned the real data, we turned the text into numbers.
Okay.
When we are doing numbers, we are playing with numbers. How can you not have maths? So when you're in that part of AI, you need to know maths.
Mm.
But the good part is there will be applications which will be using these tools, these generative AIs into the real world. Let's say there is a gym app which will be a personalized gym trainer to you.
Okay.
You can be part of that team.
Mm.
And then there will be tools, there will be jobs where you will be using the AI.
Mm.
Let's say that you are making presentations.
Mm.
You can use AI.
Yeah.
Let's say you have to create content for a podcast right now.
Mm.
You can use AI.
Mm.
And let's say that you are a graphic designer. There you can use AI. So anywhere you can incorporate AI, but yeah,
With your touch.
yeah, with your touch. Your touch is very important. That's the most crucial thing,
Mm.
because that will give your flavor to it, the
Definitely.
reality to it.
Yes. And we were talking about internships.
Hmm.
So there are many fuss related to whether we have to do paid internship or unpaid internship. Many of us do unpaid internships, but can you give some insights on it?
Initially, I told you that I did lots of internships, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, there was only one internship that paid me. The last internship in my fourth year.
Mm.
And believe me, I was like, don't give me, bro. Give me less work. That is better. Don't give me money. It's okay. You're taking too much of my time.
Okay.
So that is how it is.
Okay,
It
even
doesn't.
your course, they don't pay you for the internships?
The place where I'm working right now.
No, I'm asking the interns you have done.
Huh.
You're from the financial background, and of course you will get paid.
In my
no?
MBA, the internship that I did, I was paid. But during my bachelor's, the internship that I did, I was in first year, second year. Okay. I see, you are not doing internship to get money. Even if they are paying you 20,000, 30,000, what is 20,000, 30,000 when you are getting the experience that is worth more than that? Okay. When you are getting some good projects on your resume, that is worth more than 20,000, 30,000, that stipend that you are getting from these companies. But yeah, some good companies, if you reach out to some big companies who give PPOs and all in your final year, then they will pay you. Most probably they will pay you. But even if they are not, and you think this is a dream company for you, go for it. Don't look for money.
Okay. Now we have an expertise, Uplapte, to come and interview you. Thank you.
Hey, hi. So I'm here to ask you some very specific questions. As I understand, you have quite a bit of experience in finance and you're also a data scientist. Is that correct?
I won't call myself exactly data scientist, but I have worked and I've done a couple of internships and gained some experience with data science. And I have been working with a financial company for past 8 to 9 months.
Understood. What I want to understand from you is IT as an industry is a very heavy burden on any employee. It is something that demands long hours. It is something that asks a lot of you, and you have to work on several things at the same time. Why do you think you entered a field like that, knowing the perks and the not so big perks that come with this industry?
The best thing that I would say about IT personally, I feel is that when you're working on a project, right? When you see it from start to complete, there is a satisfaction associated with it. Okay. And you get really involved and passionate about it. So these 12 to 15 hours won't even feel. Okay. And especially when you're young, when you want to explore, when you want to learn, then it's okay to work for longer hours. That is what I feel, because you are developing right now. you're growing right now. Once you're stabilized, once you have stability, once you have family responsibilities, etc., etc., then it's over. Then I understand work life balance and everything is very important. But personally, for me, this is a growing stage.
So, people who sacrifice on their work life balance just to survive in the IT industry because they are so ambitious, what would you like to tell them? What is the motivation that they need to keep going for?
Personally, I will say that it depends on the project they are working with. Many times, when we are assigned with projects that are not worth your time, they are extracting like 15 hours a day. They are even taking your weekend at times. Okay, I was working for a company, and I was an intern there. They were making me work for 12 hours a day. Even like at night at 2 a.m., I might get a call and they might said, there's an issue with the prod. Prod is in production, and I have to open my laptop at 2 a.m. and fix it. There are times when things are not in your hand. But I would say, if you are in a project where you're not liking the project, where you think you're not growing, switch to a different company, and that will be the better thing to do. Because in IT, there is never a deficiency of jobs if you are skilled enough. If you are lacking with your skills, then literally no one can help you. First, upscale yourself, get some courses, get some trainings, and then switch.
Yeah, so Ayush, my concern is people who get into the IT industry without any background knowledge of what generative AI is, who expect to be paid very well but don't necessarily have the tools or cannot access the right upskilling for themselves. What should they look out for?
Okay, and one very good thing about IT is there are n number of free materials available. You have YouTube, you have Google. Most of the generative AIs are free, right? So you can learn from there. So learning is not a hurdle. Now, you might say that getting a degree might be a hurdle, but there are companies, if you are good at coding, they don't even care about your degree. Not all companies are there, but there are companies now. We are like, India is slowly moving towards that trend. In US, you already have those trends that if you can code, if you have a good, let's say, code chef rankings, then they will hire you. Also, one thing I would like to insist, I won't even say the word recommend, I'll say insist, the coders participate in hackathons. Even if you know you're not good at coding, there are some big tech giants, there are banks, all of them are conducting hackathons. Participate in them, because then you will understand what the competition is, and many times you get hired. Like, there's no limitation. One of my friend, he was offered a package of 1.5 cr through a hackathon. It was not in India, abroad somewhere, I think in Dubai. And in India, he was offered 30 lakhs. So I'm not giving you, I'm giving you huge numbers. This is an exceptional case, but at least 10, 15 lakhs you get easily from hackathons.
Earlier in the conversation, you said that out of most of the internships you did, very few paid you. To me, it is extremely and entirely unethical to go into an internship and not get paid. But I understand it is necessary to seek the right experience if you want to get into the right market.
Mhm.
At the same time, I am also of the belief that the IT industry should be more fair in the way they compensate people. Do you have any instances or experiences that you would like to talk about which made you feel that maybe you were not well compensated for the effort you had put in?
Um, See, when you do an internship, it's less of a work that you contribute to the company. It's more of the training that they provide you. Okay. So you can say that you are getting the stipend and they are taking the stipend from you in the terms of training. Okay. At an initial stage, when you are in your first year, second year, or third year, first term. After that, if you are doing an internship, because you have already learned a lot of things, then you can actually contribute to the projects. So when I was doing an internship in my final year, like I was mentioning earlier as well, I was getting paid around 14K, okay, monthly. But I was working 14 hours a day. And it was a work when I say 14 hours, I was sitting on my desk for 14 hours. I gained weight. I got all, all tensed, all irritated. Back then, as you know, I have done MBA as well. So I was very worried. I have to do MBA. I have to prepare for CAT, and I'm sitting here for 14 hours. I have to sleep for 8 hours. When will I study? Right? All these concerns were there. That is why even when they offered me 8 LPA packaged, I rejected it. Rejected it on their face. I said that I won't work for you. I cannot handle this work life balance. I instead went with the 5 LPA package where I knew work life balance was better.
Understandable. That was again very insightful, and thank you so much for giving us these insights. What we do here at Dinesh Academy, and you're very well aware of that,
Yeah.
you're a volunteer facilitator, is enable you to get a hands on experience of the industry you're about to get into.
Yeah.
Of course, you have many free tools from where you can gain the knowledge, but somewhere along the line, you need to put that knowledge to use. What do you think is the importance of such hands on learning and hands on training, as you said,
Hmm.
in maybe an industry that is fintech and uses AI in its functioning? Because you have said, and you had mentioned earlier to me privately, that the only reason you did MBA was to able to seamlessly integrate managerial, responsibilities with the automation of AI. You wanted to be able to automate things from a perspective where things got easier for others. What do you think hands on experience would do for something like that?
When I was doing my internship in my final year, before that, I thought I want to become a data scientist, just a data scientist, making machine learning models and everything. But when I worked for them for real life, then I was given a code which was like I have seen code this big, let's say, and I was given a code this big, and I have to understand that code and make this big part in it. So that was a different thing. Making something from beginning to end is one thing. Understanding a complex code and making a small part in it, or debugging the code written by someone else, a team in fact, is a really different thing. Another problem I faced, or I would say that it's just in me, that I wanted to bring changes. As a developer, it is more difficult for you to bring changes. You are aligned by your managers, you are aligned by your company, your clients, and you have to follow that path. So after that, I decided I'll do my MBA. Even during my MBA, I was initially thinking that I'll do finance because my father was in finance department. He's working in a bank. So I wanted to get into finance. He also wanted me to go into finance. But when I tried finance, when I got real world experience, I did a live project. Then I realized, okay, in that I was given 2 lakhs rupees. I have to invest and I have to see what all returns I'm getting. When I saw the returns I made, I realized that, okay, people doubled the amount in 3 months. I can only provide an increment of 20-25%. Then I understood where I am when it comes to real world.
So, a hands on experience told you where you were lacking.
Yeah. It's like a reality check. And because I did it in the middle of my MBA, I could fix it wherever the gap was. And that ultimately helped me get a job in finance, directly or
Understood.
indirectly, I would say.
That was again very insightful, Ayush. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for your time. I would like to close this conversation just by getting an idea of what would life look like for me if I decided to suddenly enter the IT industry.
See, since as per my understanding, you don't have much experience with IT. Okay. So when you enter an IT industry, first of all, the company itself will train you according to the tools they want you to use. Okay. So let's say they train you in Python. Then they will assign you projects. They'll give you KTs. KTs is basically sessions. They will train you on the code and the work, and then you adjust it. It's such a smooth process getting onboarded into it, and you just blend in. And they won't. If you go into startups again, if you don't have much experience, I'll say avoid startups. If you are really good, go to startups.
Okay.
Because the problem with startups and the good thing about startups is they rely on you. If you're really good at coding, they will rely on you for coding a very important part, and there won't be major backups. But when you are working in an established company, you will be working with a team of 10, 15, sometimes even 20, 30 people. So if you don't understand anything, you can ask with other people.
Okay.
So that's a very important thing. People don't really generally understand this gap. They think, okay, I'll go to the startup, they're paying more money, but they cannot take that pressure, that responsibility, because they are not that adept with coding. If you're adept with coding, it's perfect. Because there's another experience in startup. It's like you get exposed to something that will take 5, 10 years in a established company to reach.
Understood. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ayush.
Yeah.
From this conversation, you must have already realized what you are signing up for. Ayush is part of one of the biggest banks in the world right now, and you are working as a
I'm working as a manager, or you can say a techno finance manager, you can say.
he is working as a techno finance manager. Can you give them a quick run through of your qualifications for people who would want to get into finance with their generative AI certifications or data science certifications?
I have done my BTech by 2021. Then I worked with a company for 1 year. I was a software developer there. Then I did my MBA from an IIM. And after that, I got placed in a finance company.
Lovely. So, if you would like to have a career trajectory as good and as great as Ayush, make sure you come talk to us and learn what you can get when you sign up with our certification course. Find all details below. Thank you.